with part number 3. I'm Zoe, if you didn't already know, and if you haven't watched parts 1 and 2, I will link those down below. This is part 3 of my triple page layout. This is page number 1 that I'm showing you now. Page number 2 is the acetate transparency overlay, and then part number 3, which I'm going to show you today, is the flip side of the transparency. So when you open the pages up in the album, this is how they will look. So you've got sort of an alternating flip view, as it were. Does that make sense? I'm not sure it does. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to change up the colour of my thread that I used to stitch the original design on. And to do that, I'm just using a Wink of Stella glitter marker, brush markery thing. I'm sure it has a more official name than brush markery thing, but that's what it's called in my house. This is just a silver colour with a really faint shimmer. It's really subtle, but it looks really pretty. And the reason I'm using this versus other paints or whatever is that it's got quite a slow drying time, so it won't accidentally stain my acetate or the transparency or whatever before I've had a chance to wipe it off. So I'm just going really rough, no real efforts or precision about it, just going over my thread just to change it so that it's white on the one side and this sort of shimmery silver on the other. And again, I apologise for the glare. I've already explained my lighting situation, but if you didn't know, because you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, and if you haven't, why haven't you? Why? Go and watch them. Really? Yes, the lighting is a pain, I know, and I apologise. So, the same as I did on the other side, I'm just using my punches to punch out some shapes, and I am matching the shapes on this side to the other side, just because obviously you're going to be able to see right through. So you're going to want to be sure to match the shape to shape. So I've used small circles, star shapes, little Christmas trees, some of the sort of diamond shapes from the sticker sheet. So I'm just going through really quick. I've actually edited out a fair bit of it. I'm just matching them up and sticking them down. Going with some of the circles and some of the stickers. Now, in some places I do change my shape up a little bit, just because on the other side it will actually make it look like a layered decoration, if that makes sense. So if I've got a star on the front side, on the flip side I can put a circle, because it will give the star a sort of white circular outline on the other side. So that's something fun to have a think about and play around with. I'm just going to go through my enamel dots, and on the other side I used the Crepe Paper Wonder enamel dots, and I cannot find them. I had them about 10 minutes before filming this video, and they've gone. So I am going with the Dear Lizzie enamel shapes. Does that happen to you? Do you just miraculously lose things in your craft space or wherever you create your scrapbook pieces? It happens to me so often, and not just alphas stuck to my bum, which admittedly happens more than I care to admit. Or in one infamous situation, I had a thicker, not just an alpha sticker, a letter N in foam thicker stuck in my hair just above my forehead, and I went out like that to the shops and nobody told me. So yeah. Anyway, I'm totally digressing, aren't I? As usual, you know me and my waffling. So this is the photo I'm going to be using, and as I said, I do have the one black and white one in amongst all the colour. This is my youngest son photobombing my other son with his nipple, as you do, or at least as my children do. And I'm finally going to add some journaling onto this page, and I haven't on the previous two, purely because I knew I was going to be adding it onto this page. And I'm actually trimming it to match my photo size, which is printed with my selfie printer, so it's just shy of 6x4. I've printed that onto some vellum with a typewriter font. The font I got from dafont.com, and it's travelling typewriter. It's my very, very favourite typewriter font. So I'm just adhering the photo and the journaling down onto some white cardstock, again to give that linear feel between both of the other pages, because I did matte the other pages onto white cardstock as well, so it'll just make sure that it feels similar as you're looking across. And I've just added a little bit of wet glue, which in this case is Glossy Accents, to the top of my journaling because it's on vellum, and I'm not going to glue the bottom just yet. I'm actually going to adhere it down with my embellishments instead, and just trimming that to make sure it fits properly, and lining it all up with my paper trimmer, and just seeing how that measures out with the paper cluster, the photo clustery, linery matting from the other side. Goodness me, way to make a job harder. So I'm going through my 6x6 pad here just to see what I would like to use, and I know I want to use this beautiful craft with the white polka dot, and I'm going into my 12x12 scraps here just to make sure that I get a fairly tall photo mat here that my 6x6 wouldn't cover. I'm going to use the 6x6 to layer behind this taller photo mat. Now, as you can see, I am down to the very minimum scraps now, and this wasn't wide enough. So as ever, that's never a problem for me. I actually generally cut my papers to be too small anyway, so I'm just going to use that and the beautiful black and white sort of Dymo label, a Dymo label paper. I'm going to use that to make up the majority of the background as well. Just using that beautiful polka dot craft to add a horizontal layer. Nothing too complex. Again, much as I have throughout, I'm keeping this very simple and not going too complex with my layers or with my embellishments. I find not only are the fringed tree and the sewn tree embellishment enough, also when you're using quite bright and busy papers like this, it can sometimes feel too heavy to add a lot of embellishment anyway, so I'm quite content to keep it relatively simple. So just lining it up, and as you can see with the way I'm lining it, the vellum that's on the other side of this piece, I am actually going to utilise that as a sort of hidden layer on this as well, so that when it's all adhered down, it will look like another layer to this mat as well as the other one, which I thought was quite a fun touch, and adding a fun sense of depth, particularly because it's on acetate. I thought it would work quite well. Gosh, my voice is hoarse today. I apologise for that. So just using double-sided tape, the same tape I use on everything, it will stick to the acetate perfectly well. I'm not worried at all about this coming off. one of my lovely viewers, Wait to Watch a Chick, I think it is, asked me how I'm going to put this into my album. And I'd already filmed this, I'm just doing the voiceover now, and it's already been edited, so I can't add it to this video. But if you go over on my Instagram after I've put this live, I will show you that I'm just popping this whole thing into page protectors. If it had have been a 12x12 acetate, I would have just punched straight into it. But because the side that would have to punch is paper, you run the risk of it ripping, and it's just not worth it. And honestly, you really can't, it really doesn't detract from it to have it in a page pocket, which I will show you over on my Instagram. I've just done a little flip through video that is like 10 seconds long or something, just to show you, so head on over there if you want to see it in the page protectors. So I'm just going through the puffy stickers, and I've added the houses down below, and I'm now onto the cardstock stickers. I've added a label sticker that says December, which is sort of a tag. I'm going to go back and add some twine to that in a second. I'm just going through them, seeing if there's anything else I want to use from the sticker sheets, and I don't think there is. So I'm going to the tiny the phrase stickers and the foam thickers for my title. The title of this one is just going to be Photobomb, because what else could you call it? So I'm just, as ever, laying my title out onto waxed paper first, just so that I can make sure it fits well before I adhere it down, because I inevitably always end up sticking them down wrong, and then I can't peel them up, and I've learned my lesson. I've learned to take it a little bit slower and just stick it on that wax paper first. And it's much easier to line it up, in my opinion. So I'm just going straight along the centre with my photo there. I wasn't too sure whether I should have Photobomb be one word or two. So I've hedged my bets and gone for a really small gap in the middle. So it kind of looks like one word, but it could also be classed as two. Cheating, I know, but what you gonna do? So I'm just moving a puffy sticker from the top right hand corner down to the bottom left, and just stapling that in with my tiny attacher. And I'm going to add a phrase sticker up into the space that it left behind, I think. I can't remember which phrase stickers, not thickers. Jeez, Zoe, get it together. Goodness me. So I'm just adding some I'm adding some embroidery floss. Embossing floss? What do I even think I'm talking about? I mean, embossing floss. And just trying to see if I wanted to change up the positioning of that, and I don't, so I'm going to pop it right in. And I added black embroidery floss just to make sure the black from the title is popped up top there as well, to add another element of it. And the sticker on the top of my stitched tree is also black, so it sort of adds a black triangle of elements there. And just adding some more of the Dear Lizzie enamel dots, keeping it really, really simple, as I said. It feels like a busy layout to me anyway, so I don't necessarily want to add to how busy it is. I don't think I do too much else. Do I add another phrase sticker? Oh yes, I do, just down the bottom there. But I don't think I add too much else. I certainly don't add any colour shine onto this one either. So yeah, that's definitely it. I had such a blast making this one, I really did. It was so fun to do something over 3, and it really tests your thought process when you're doing it over 3 as well, trying to make sure your design is going to work in each angle. I really had a blast. I'd love to do more stuff like this in the new year. Do let me know what you think, and if you'd like to see more sorts of double or triple page layouts, and don't forget to head on over to Instagram, which is Zoe Guest Art, and I'll link that down below if you want to see it once it's in its photo pockets. Yeah, I had a blast. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!